Oh my god, it's Video Games. We are back again to talk about video games. They just keep making these things. I'm filming this around Summer Games Fest. They made more of them. They just keep releasing them. I've been playing a ton of new games, but we're not here to talk about new games. We're here to talk about old games because old games are still cool. We'll talk about new games later, probably towards the end of the year, because new games are still cool and a lot of really awesome ones have come out this year. Anyways, we got a stack of old games here. Stack of some really cool stuff. So let's just get right into it. First up here is a game that I actually picked up close to about a year ago. I just haven't been doing a ton of these videos, but I still wanted to briefly talk about it as a nice little appetizer for this video, and that is the Azumanga Daioh game for the PlayStation 1. Now, I don't have a lot to say about this game as it's pretty simple. It's a little board game, very similar in style to Mahjong, or at least so I'm told. I don't know how to play Mahjong, but I played around with this game for a little bit, and it's a little tile game, and not a whole lot to do there, but it is kind of fun. You match tiles, and the little chibi-fied versions of the girls from the show walk around and do stuff on the board while you're playing that is very in character with them. But, it's fun for what it is. But if, maybe Mahjong or puzzle games aren't really your thing, don't pass this one up probably. But I mainly picked this up because I'm a huge fan of Azumanga Daioh. It's honestly one of the funniest animes out there. It's just so ridiculous, and it's not over the top with its humor in a way. It sort of is, but there's a subtlety to the humor, to all the girls and their different characterizations that just hits me right in the funny bone. Absolutely love this show. I highly recommend checking out the show. Maybe check this out if you're a fan of the show. But that is it for Azumanga Daioh. It's got a crazy name here on the side. Okay, Azumanga Daioh for the PlayStation 1. Speaking of crazy, we're kind of coming up here on a cult classic, really, honestly. And that is LSD Dream Simulator for the PlayStation 1. Now, I will admit, this is a very expensive game. Therefore, I opted for a repro. But because I had to own this game. This is a game I've known about for years. If you're not familiar with LSD Dream Simulator, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a trippy, low poly aesthetic, absolute mind melter. But it is supposedly based on the developer's dream journal. He kept a dream journal for 5 years, and most of the stuff that went into this game was inspired from his dreams, which is really cool. A really neat, interesting concept. Sounds very David Lynch in its approach. But this is basically a walking simulator. You play in first person, and you kind of start in this long corridor just filled with doors, and behind each door is a randomized dream, and every single one of them is as wacky and as crazy as you can believe. There are fake stick figure sumo wrestlers and crazy warping textures and graphics. There's even some relatively creepy stuff in this game. There are some city-esque levels, dark city-esque levels, and in them, there's a character that can randomly spawn, and I'm gonna call him a Hat Man because I can't remember what the fandom typically refers to him as, but I'm gonna call him Hat Man because he's a dark, shadowy figure, I think, with a hat that will just straight run up on you randomly and end your dream, and that'll start you back to the next day for your dreams. It's kind of freaky. So yeah, there's really weird, trippy, and freaky things in this game, but a very, very interesting concept, and I'm all for weirdo, artsy bullshit in movies and video games, so totally love LSD Dream Emulator. If you've not played this game, by all means, check it out, even if just for 10 to 15 minutes. You will see some weird stuff, and the world kind of constantly changes in it, so you will kind of always find at least something new on each playthrough. So LSD Dream Simulator, or Dream Emulator, excuse me, LSD Dream Emulator. Check it out if you can. Next up, we're getting into a little bit of spoiler territory here, because this is absolutely one of the next reviews I'm working on, and it is for a wonderful bunch of shoot-'em-ups that I absolutely adore, and it is none other than Konami's Parodius Collection here, the portable collection for the PSP, which is a collection of pretty much all of the Proteus games that came out at the time of this. I think there have been a couple on mobile since then, but This is the MSX version. Proteus Da, Gokujo Parodius, Jikyo Oshibari Parodius, and Sexy Parodius. And this is for the PSP. And I just had to pick this up because, honestly, while I have the majority of these games on the Super Nintendo, Proteus Da, Gokujo Parodius, and Jikyo Parodius all came out on the Super Nintendo. I did not have a copy of Sexy Parodius, and I'd never played the MSX version. So this was a really convenient way to kind of get them all. Plus, these are the arcade versions, which actually have some differences between the Super Nintendo versions, and I'll get more into that in the video I'm working on. But this is a really great collection. It's a little on the pricey side as it only came out in Japan. However, there is like a Greatest Hits re-release version of this with a slightly different cover that usually goes for a bit cheaper, but I was able to scoop this up through Buyee for a pretty good price. So yeah, if you love the Parody series or have never played the Parody series, grab this or get an emulator and play this game, as it's a great introduction to a wonderful series of wacky over-the-top shoot-em-ups that, you just can't go wrong with. There's always something new to see. There's always some great and creative and fun levels that parody Konami's classics, like in Jikyo Oshibari Parodius. I absolutely adore the Tokimeki Memorial parody stage. That's a great one. And in the Super Nintendo version, there's a really good boss battle that parodies the Puzzle Dama series, which I've briefly talked about on this channel. I think in my 3 random SNES imports video, I briefly talked about one of the Puzzle Dama games. Anyways, the Proteus Portable Collection for the PSP. Awesome. Highly recommend picking it up and checking it out. Next up, we got something pretty cool here. And it's none other than the game that's kicked off reviews for this year on the channel, and that is Love and Destroy for the PlayStation 1. Which, if you've not seen my video, I highly recommend going and checking it out. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever done on the channel, as this game has a fairly interesting history, and it's just a really weird mix-up of genres. It's a mech action game where you're third person controlling these girls in these mechs, and then between the stages are like some dating sim elements where you can really get to know the girls and go on these little fun adventures with them. And it's all full of beautifully hand-drawn animation done by Production IG, who are probably most famous for the 1996 or 95 Ghost in the Shell movie, which is phenomenal. And then the character designer for this game is Masahiro Katsura. I might be butchering that, but I think it's Masahiro Katsura. Or Masakazu Katsura. My apologies if I've butchered that. But he is responsible for Video Girl I, which is a fantastic OVA from the 90s that if you've never seen, check it out. It's a wonderful OVA, 6 episodes. I really enjoyed that. And he's also done work for Tiger and Bunny, and he even did character designs for Astral Chain on the Switch, which is, again, that's a fucking awesome game, and the characters in that are pretty cool. So I was really happy to pick this up, but while I was looking for this, I also came across the strategy guide. And, I don't have many strategy guides for games, let alone Japanese strategy guides. So when I saw this and saw that it had some extra artwork done by Katsura, I absolutely wanted to pick it up. I mean, just look at it. I'm sorry, there's probably going to be some glare on this. I'll get some close-ups and stuff. But look, this even folds out into a wonderful little poster. Yeah, and then on the back of it is even more animation. But yeah, this was only like $20-30, so I decided I would pick it up, and I do not regret it. I mean, again, just kind of show off some of the beautiful artwork that's in here. It's excellent, and I really do enjoy Katsura's design work and his style. It's a very distinctive style, but I just really enjoy his work, so it was really neat to be able to pick this up and get to see some more extra drawings and stuff that did not appear in the final game. Look at that. It's just beautiful. Absolutely stellar design. Anyways, enough of me, fawning over the art style. We got one more special pickup here. And this is something I ordered about, 9 months to a year ago, and it finally showed up. and that is none other than the special edition of Clock Tower Rewind. And, I mean, you all know me. I love Clock Tower. I've talked about it on the channel. One of my favorite Super Nintendo games. So when I saw that they were doing a re-release of Clock Tower, oh, I was there. I was there, baby. And then I saw that they were doing a crazy special edition. I was like, oh, I had to get it. I just had to get it. And before I get into the contents of this, let me talk a little bit about the game itself. What a fantastic re-release. This is how you do a re-release. Not only does it come with the Super Famicom version, it comes with the First Fear Edition, which was on the PlayStation, which added some extra scares and spooks and scenes and stuff to it. And they've put that in there, and they've tweaked a couple of quality of life features, like you can now, when you have to rest, it takes a bit quicker. When you no longer just walk up the stairs, you actually run up the stairs, which is a huge improvement. It's added in a couple extra rooms from the PlayStation version. And on top of that, it's just got a bunch of extra bonus stuff on the disc. Like this Japanese strategy guide, which has a bunch of beautiful artwork I've never seen. It's got the box art and the manual scans for both the Super Famicom version and the PlayStation port. And the coolest thing of all is that it includes the kind of one of the demos of the game. So it was like a store kiosk demo where it was like, hey, and you could pick one of the 3 scenarios to quickly play through to see if maybe this was your type of game or not. And that's really cool because a handful of years ago, gosh, probably like 10 to 12 years ago, there were 2 betas that were talked about online. One of them was a fully playable beta of the game, which was dumped online and available. However, at the time, I don't think this version of that beta, the one on this cart, was available at the time, and I'd always really wanted to play it. So it's really cool to see it either, I don't know if this is like an official recreation maybe, or if it is the actual, dump of that store kiosk version that has been put on here. Regardless, it's really neat to see it because I've always wanted to kind of play through it and see if there are any changes, which I don't think there are, but it's still a really cool addition to see on here. I was really excited about that. Anyways, of course, this is a huge special edition, so it came with a bunch of goodies. So let's kind of wrap things up by going through the goodies we got here. First up, we have the CD soundtrack for Clock Tower and the First Fear. I really love the music in this game, so this is really cool to have. The song Kerosene is a fantastic one. It's one that comes on towards the end of the game. And of course, the main chase sequence music is great. Very kind of Exorcist, very Goblin, very Dario Argento, obviously, as this game takes a ton from his movies. Next up, we've got some really cool pixel art standees. Here we have Jennifer, our heroine. Let's see, will it focus? There we go. And then, of course, we've got our antagonist, Bobby, aka Scissor Man. Very neat. Glad to have these. Here, I like this one. It's a pin of the ham you pick up to get out of a certain scenario in the game. Here we have a rather heavy, girthy kind of keychain of the, there's a sticker in the way, I apologize for that. Sunsoft and Capcom really want to let you know that this is their product. This is the Demon Idol statue. This is one of 2 items that you can use to to get to the end of the game. We've got this awesome poster, double-sided poster, might I add you, with the original artwork on it, which I absolutely adore. And I'm actually kind of sad that they used this kind of. I'm not a big fan of this art they put on the front here. So I'm really glad to have the original artwork in here. Oops, sorry, it's upside down. In here on a poster, and then on the flip side, this really awesome kind of watercolor poster looks really good as well. I'm not sure if that's original artwork or artwork made for this release, but I'm glad to have that as well. Next up is the thing that really sold me on this little collection, and if you've not played Clock Tower, please play Clock Tower. This is like a slight spoiler towards the end of the game, and when I played this game for the very first time and came across this, my jaw hit the floor. I was shocked that they put like this amount of kind of weirdo, grotesque stuff into a Super Nintendo game. But here we have Scissor Man's brother, Bobby, who's like this gigantic blob baby creature thing. And when I tell you, yeah, like my jaw hit the floor the first time I ever saw him in the game. And has always been one of my like favorite weirdo horror video game designs. So, and he's like a little squishy plush doll, or a stress ball, basically. But yeah, I saw this is in the collection. I was like, oh, I have to pick this up. That's so cool. He's going to rightfully earn himself a spot on the shelf right there, which of course I'm blocking now. We're putting him on the other side of the shelf. Maybe he'll go up top at some point. And then lastly, we have here a statuette of the clock tower itself, which is really cool. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this handful of pickups. The clock tower rewind, excellent re-release, excellent package for the special edition. We got a ton of cool games here. Thank you all for checking this out. I'll be back with more video games here pretty soon. I got some cool stuff coming from Japan as usual, so I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, consider checking out these other videos right here, or even subscribing. Also, if you'd like to throw me a couple of bucks, you can support the show on Patreon.